In this video, we are going to address a major concern from customers when we interview them pertaining to cost management. I am going to show you today how this IaaS on-premises cloud makes that very easy for IT operations to ensure that they are optimizing the financial value of the power investments they have made in the organization. And so in order to achieve that objective, we are going to differentiate between the whole cloud, which is what I'm showing you here. And you know that you're looking at the whole cloud because it is called IBM Default. The organizational aspect of this cloud is to allocate resources to projects. And every project has a project manager who inside the project can allocate VMs to users. So users belong to a project and they request resources that are approved by a project manager without having to take cycles from IT operations. So let's see how that plays out. So here we're looking at the whole cloud. You can see that it is quite large. It's got 5,500 virtual machines, 55,000 virtual processors, 40,000 gigabytes of memory, 10 million gigabytes of storage. Now let's switch to the project view. We only have one project for this demo. It's called Demo Project. So we're going to switch to that and you will see a very significant change in the number of resources allocated to that project. So I'm going to take you to project quotas and notice that before you had 5,500 virtual machines, but this project has only been granted 10 virtual machines. Virtual processors, they only get 80. Processing units, they get 5. Memory, they get 400 gigabytes. Volume storage, 400 gigabytes. And so what this denotes is the maximum amount of resources available to this project manager from the totality of the enterprise cloud. And this is very important because this project manager gets to use these resources, and IT administrators, IT operations professionals are starting to charge back to these business units for the resources that they use. So in this scenario, for example, you could have a project manager that wants more resources. So very easily, you can go in and you can change them. Let's say that they ask for more virtual machines. So they go from 10 to 20. Well, it's this easy to allocate those. And by the way, the project manager can't do this. I am logged in as an IT operations administrator. And now we've gone to 20. But the point here is that, sure, they can get more resources, but the bill at the end of the month is going to be higher, just as if they were using a cloud. Now, this is very interesting from the perspective of providing for IT operations very predictable ways of charging back. You can charge based on the resources allocated and not each individual VM, which is far too much in the weeds and just complicates everything. By charging at the project level, you get your money back based on the resources allocated, and it is the project manager's problem to ensure that they are not hoarding resources that they will never use and that they are managing the number of VMs in an optimal fashion. So what that means is that users within this project, demo project, request VMs and the project manager approves them up to a point where they will run out of computing memory and storage capacity. And so they can go in and see all the virtual machines that are running. These are all the virtual machines running in this project. And if we want to see them, we can go and take a look at resource usage. And we can see that cloud user has 4 virtual machines allocated to that person. In this demo, we only have 1 cloud user, but you can imagine that it could be tens of users and they will all show up here with the virtual machines allocated to them. And so by working at a project level, the project administrator has a vested interest in keeping his or her environment as clean as possible. So what I mean by that is every VM that has been created has an expiration date. And beyond this date, every one of these projects is going to be flagged for deletion. They will not be automatically deleted, but they will show up here as VMs that are not being used. And this is a very big deal. And if I was a smart project manager, I would try to get to a point where I really understand what my workloads are to see if I can reduce the number of resources allocated to me, and hopefully I can lower the bill every month. I hope that that gives you some good ideas in how you might tackle that problem. Thank you.